What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just sitting here daydreaming, thinking about that maple tree. And
No,
what do you mean, no? How many guitars I could get out of that? Maybe 5 guitars, and
no,
how happy people would be to be able to play guitars.
no, no, and no.
What if you really loved me, you'd let me saw down that tree. You know that.
No comment.
Oh, well, that wasn't a no. So maybe I'm making progress here. So you know what? I'm going downstairs and I'm going to go into the shop and join my friends. Hi, welcome. Today is Canada's birthday. I'm delighted that you're here to celebrate with us. We are going to take a look at the guitar. We're going to review what we did in the previous videos quickly, the putting on the back brace and how all of that worked out. But before we do, I want you to know that I've got a special treat for you on Wednesday. Don't miss Wednesday's video, all right? If you do, you're going to be really disappointed. That's all I'm going to say. It's a special treat. And if you're inclined to want to subscribe, by all means, please do it. Somebody told me it's on my left, so it's down this way. Thank you for that. And hit that like button and hit the bell, and you'll be notified of subsequent videos. I'm going to put links down below. And if you know somebody that you think would be interested in this video, would you by all means please pass it on to them? Because we're going to be talking woodworking, and I want everybody involved in this. I want the ladies involved with this. I want teenagers involved with this. I want those people that rule, seniors. I want you involved in this. I want everybody involved in this. Everybody's got to make a guitar. Why wouldn't you want to make a guitar? I mean, it's permanent. It lasts. So it's so exciting. Let's get on with today's build. Thanks. Now, let's get on with a review of what we did previously. You'll recall that we had built the back strip onto the back plate. We had it all set up here with the go-bar deck, and all of that was good. I've taken it out. I've actually sanded it down, and I've got it to the finished state of where you're going to want to see what we do next. But as life would have it, I had a critic that lives in this house who said to me, "Oh gosh, I couldn't see the ruler and how you set that up." So now I am revisiting this just to show you again how I went about doing that, because it's really simple, but it's very fast and very accurate if you do it right. You'll notice there's the strip, and I marked in there, I think you can see that, there's a little pencil mark there on both ends. Now this is a shorter piece. Doesn't really matter, it's just for illustration purposes, but you'll get to see how this works again against the ruler. So I'm going to change the angle of the camera so you can see it firsthand. Okay, here we are. What we have down here is a line drawn in white pencil because it's a dark brown top, and I know and it's dead center, and I've marked it from this corner or this end to this end. So I've used a straight edge and I've got that along there. Now what I did, remember I took this and I lined it up with the center of this white strip on both sides. Then when I had it there, I clamped this ruler in place. Once the ruler is there, this doesn't matter anymore. I glue it, and then I simply just take it, line it up at the top, slide it over to the ruler, put the go bars on. The pressure's the same all the way along, and it's glued dead center, and it works fine. When that is finished, I use this jig. This is really a neat jig. This has got a little concave area in here, and you can make that with a router bit by going up here. You could use a file and file it each way, and then sand it to get it nice and smooth so it's just the way you want it. Or you could steal your wife's baking rolling pin, and you could put sandpaper around it when she's out, and then you could take that and then do this and get the same curvature as the rolling pin, which is what I would recommend. Then take the sandpaper off the rolling pin, clean it up, wash it, and put it back, and don't say anything. Now once you've done that, you take sandpaper here because it fits perfect, and then what you do, because we've removed the clamps, we remove the ruler here. That's all gone. All we have here now is this piece, and we simply sand it on here until we get it absolutely perfect. And when we do sand it, it ends up coming out like this. Can you see that? It's a semi-curve, and it's glued perfect. It's smooth, it's consistent all the way along. I started off sanding this with 80 grit. I then went to 120, and I finished it off with 400 grit. So that worked extremely well. Let me get these tools out of the way here. Now, I have a template here. It's simply made out of bristle board. You can get this at Staples or any other store. You draw your pattern of your guitar that you want, and you draw where your X braces are going to go across, and you get measurements from a book. You can get those. They're available everywhere. If you want, I can put these measurements in the description, and you can pull them off from there. And in fact, I think I'll do that. And on the back, we've got what looks like a guitar, and then I've got where the cross bracings are going to end up going. Now, here's a sample of a cross brace, and it is going to sit on the guitar and go across. There'll be one up here, there'll be another one down in here, another one here, and then there'll be a bottom one. And these all have the same radius cut into them. This is going to be about an 18-foot radius because the top is 28. So that's why it's like a shell, like a dome. It's like this. So the back curves this way and curves this way. So this is what helps achieve that. And we will glue that all up. So what I have to do next is I have to cut these strips and put holes in here to accept the cross bracing that I just showed you. Now, the cross bracing, for example, is different sizes. At the top, it's 280 thousandths of an inch thick, a little over a quarter of an inch, and it's 500 thousandths tall. And then when you get down to the bottom, it's going to be 400 thousand thick, so it's a little thicker, and it's going to be a half an inch tall or 500 thou tall as well. And it's going to end up being braced beautifully, and you're going to see me do that. But I didn't think you wanted to see me run the braces through the saw, which I have already done, because I thought that would be kind of boring. So there's the braces. I keep them taped so they won't move or warp on me. And then I'll run them through this thickness sander and get them down to that 280 thousandths of an inch thick, because they're going to go on their end. And then I'm going to show you a jig on how I cut the curvature of this so that I get that shape coming, like I'm exaggerating here with the shape, but getting that nice shape. And you're going to love this. You're really, really going to love this. No question about it. So we've used a few jigs. This is a top, by the way, from an old guitar that I had. Didn't work, and I was getting rid of the guitar, and I decided to keep the top just from the standpoint of the bracing inside, because I thought, oh, people may be interested in seeing what it looks like on a top and how well it's braced coming back and forth, and tone bars in here, and how the reinforcement here. That pad is where the holes go through on the top for the little pins to hold your strings. And that's where the bridge gets glued on the other side of that. And then there's little tabs here glued in place to keep the top from splitting, so it won't split. So all of this is thought out mostly by the Martin Guitar Factory way back in the 1800s. And this little puppy is the beginning of an armrest. And we are going to do an armrest on this guitar. I have to do the armrest. Everybody loves the armrest. Well, I'm pretty well at a point where we're wrapped up for today. I really would like it if you would subscribe and hit the bell. And from that point, if you want to give me a thumbs up and hit that, that would be just great. We've come to the time where we need to sit back, celebrate the birth of Canada, and enjoy, believe it or not, a cup of East Frisian tea today. East Frisian is a combination of tea made from, I believe it's East Frisian in Germany and Kenya. It's a tea that comes from that area. and it is delicious. Oh my goodness, this rivals English breakfast. So I'm sorry, but it's true. And I'm not being a traitor. It's that good. So this is for you. Oh, oh yes, it is absolutely on a par with English breakfast tea. It is criminal that this tea could be so good. Now, Wednesday, make sure you're here. I've got a special treat for you. Thanks so much. We'll see you later.